great to be together as a team. I'm so excited for the clients. I'm so excited for what the TMMs, for what eStream, for what Smart Circle has done for us behind the scenes. And now it's on us. Now it's our turn to pay our bill. And that means that we got to get better. We got to be ironclad as a team. We got to have each other's back. We got to hold each other accountable. We got to have enough backbone to stand up and protect the future for other people. And that's something that we have to prioritize on a daily basis. So if you take anything from this, please take this. Carry the responsibility every day that your people's lives are in your hands. That's a lot of pressure, but learn to love that pressure, because as a promoting owner, as a business owner, you are responsible for your people and what they do. We need to make sure they never forget how lucky we are to be at this store without Dan Rent. We need to make sure they never forget how fortunate we are to work with the biggest retail names in the world. We need to make sure that they never forget how lucky we are to have Nestle Water, AT&T, Sam's Club, BJ's. Those are huge, huge accounts to have one of them. You know what's really cool? They all chose the same company, and it was us. And that's a reflection of yourself. Big round of applause for yourselves. Love you. We're very fortunate with our guest speaker, Mr. Richard. Richard is pushing for regional consultant here in Dallas, doing an awesome job. Well over 6 figures saved in the bank. Pace Center on his campaign, multiple promotions out. If you don't know him, you will know him soon. For the EDM people, this is the guy I highly recommend that you steal him. Get his time, get his phone number. I've learned a ton from working with him, but huge, huge shout out, Mr. Richard Anderson, our first speaker. Say 3 cuss words. So I'm gonna say them all right now. The energy in this room right now fucking sucks. So, is everybody happy to be here? Yeah! Are you guys ready to learn? Yeah! Let's go! All right. Good morning! Good morning! Good morning! Good morning! All right, this is like running an office. Is that cool? All right, so everybody check your QR codes. You guys can send questions over there. Where are you guys sitting down? Let's go! Good morning, let's go! All right. So, tell us. There you go. Max, is it okay to stay standing? All right. So I just got a little confused if this is the rep conference. I thought it was tomorrow. Is it okay for us to just go right into this? Yeah! Are we allowed to just tell the truth here today? Yeah. Okay. Is everybody excited? Let's go! All right, you guys can have a seat. Have a seat. Man, what a good topic. So we're going to talk about being excited. Is that okay? Yeah. So you guys can read my slide if you want. I'm from Madrid, Spain, so just very blessed to be in the U.S. Very happy to be here. Thank you so much for all of the RCs and NCs that gave me a shot to kind of speak into you guys today. Very excited about that. I don't know, Miss Megan, if I'm supposed to use this clicker. Am I? Yes, awesome. So, is it okay to get right into this? Yeah. Can I do that, Danny? Yes, thank you guys. So, next. Which one is it? Okay.
the button. There's only a few buttons, so one of them will be ready. It's okay. So I'll give you guys a little bit of my background, and we're gonna get this wrapped up so you guys can hear speaker after speaker. Take a break, enjoy yourselves. Anybody happy to be here instead of going in the field or being at work? Thank you, Megan. All right, so first, let's give a big thank you to all of the RCs and MCs, most of them on that side, for putting all this together for us. Is that okay for us to say thank you? Let's go! I started in the business in 2017 and got promoted after a year and a half. It took me a long time to get into ownership, and COVID was what transitioned our office, and now we go door to door. So if I hear one complaint from somebody saying that it's very cold inside the store, please come and meet me outside so that we can talk to you about it, okay? Is that okay, Khalil? That's fine. I don't know what's happening to this. So, did we figure that out? Is the space bar. Oh, that's so cool. Space bar. So we're going to talk about coaching and gratitude, okay? So a lot of people say that they're grateful. Raise your hand here if you're grateful for the opportunity. Okay? You guys, you should be grateful. You guys are the top 1% in America. You decide your future. If you do this well, you can also decide where you live. You can decide where your kids are going to school. You can make a lot of decisions that typically other people make for you. Do you guys agree? Anybody seen their parents or family members, friends, that all the decisions in their life get made by other people? Yeah. You guys seen that? Are you guys not fired up to make those choices for yourself? So a lot of people say they're grateful, but they're not really doing anything. So I'm going to tell you how you can be grateful right now, today. Okay? Is that okay? Okay. Gratitude in action. So the first thing you got to do is give up on all of your goals and start looking at the big team goals. Okay? So for you guys, I'm talking directly to the new owner in the room. And if you're not an owner yet, figure out what paper you need to sign or how to get there quicker. But just as if you were a new owner already, you need to give up on all of your goals right now. You need to stop thinking about the first 50 grand or 100 grand you're going to make. And I need you to start looking at what's the big team goal. What is Carlos Hidalgo trying to accomplish at this conference today? What is Jeremy trying to do? What's Larissa's goal here? Because when you fight for somebody else, it's harder to let them down. So stop trying to do this just for yourself, okay? This is how you're going to help yourself the fastest. Okay, great. There you go. So, a little quote. Who likes quotes? I copied these, okay? They're not mine. If you're not moving in gratitude, you're living in entitlement. Anybody got an entitled rep? Anybody got an entitled person? Were you entitled before you started here, maybe? Keep your hand up, okay? We got some honest people still. So you've got to put yourself in a grateful position, because if not, you're going to attract people that are always living in entitlement. If you're not moving in gratitude, you're living in entitlement. Think about it like this. I know, give me some noise for door-to-door people here. So imagine people, for everybody that's not in door-to-door, imagine having to be grateful to be in the field and have challenges like in the street. We're not going to get into details. Having no base pay and having nothing to go against other than your performance, right? So if you don't teach people gratitude, people become entitled. Most people think that the biggest way you can help your team grow or your mentors is by you growing, right? So you might be thinking, well, if I grow, I can help Rafael. Or if I grow, I can help Chang. Or if I grow, that's not true. Because if you grow and you're divisive and you're not aligned with your team and with your mentor, you're really more of a problem, right? So we don't want you really growing and then you separate from what Kinsey's trying to do. We want you growing, but we want you to align. What's Kinsey trying to accomplish? Because the person that came before you always is going to have more power. So exercise for you guys to do right now, if you haven't done it, is write this on a piece of paper or something and go and ask your promoting owner, hey, what's your goal and how can I contribute more? Hey, I know my office is 5,000 miles away from yours. I bet, how can I contribute more? Is it okay to say that? Can I say that? Okay, cool. Okay. The student, anybody sometimes gets to run an office meeting and you're like pissed and like you just don't like the people that are in the office? Anybody felt like that before? No? Nobody? Cool. I have. I used to like, where are these guys that all suck? Yeah. And I realized it was my fault, okay? The student always determines what teacher shows up. So if you're mad to your students or if you don't like the people that are listening to you, maybe check on yourself a little bit. It probably is your fault. You're probably not being a student to the person that brought you onto the team. Okay, cool. Is that okay? Does that make sense?
Makes sense.
So I want you guys to do that question, and the next break you have, you're gonna go to your promoting manager, hey, am I, and then I want you to ask the question and I want you to be open to receive criticism. Like, hey, let me ask and then let me open up to see if I'm doing the right thing. Hey, Raphael, is my office doing what you would want me to do so I can be edified by you? So you can point me as an example. And you just want to put yourself in a position that somebody else can say you're a great example. The business is not just about us, okay? So a couple things about here. Okay, raise your hand. And maybe for some people, raise your hand if you're in this room and you really think, like, based on your career, based on where you were going before you started, if you think the business has changed your life. Cool. Look around. You guys excited about that? Yeah! Dude, this thing changes lives. It does change lives. Like, raise your hand if you're making not the best decisions and hanging out around not the best people all the time before you got here. Isn't that cool? Do you guys know there's people in the room that made $100,000 last month? Did you know that? Yeah. There's not many of them, but there's a few. I recommend you find them. And if you're like, well, I don't need, money's not for me, I don't want to make all this money, well, cool. Just use whatever you need and give the rest away. Give it to somebody else. You don't have to use the whole thing. Okay, so I want to stay with me with gratitude, okay? So this thing has changed your life. Would you agree? Lexi, did it change your life? Is it going to change your kid's life? It's changing people's kids' life. I've seen Julia raise both her girls from home. You know, how many times? I mean, I didn't see my parents like until 8 o'clock at night all my life. They're like, I have this job. I got to go to this job all the time. And I thought that was normal. And I think it's okay also for you to make millions of dollars and be able to stay at home with your kids if you want to, or travel the world, do whatever you want. The only way you're going to do that is by staying grateful. So I want you to think, remember the person that did your second round interview. Does everybody remember that person? Dude, what if they would have had a bad day? What if that person would have been like, yeah, I'm just not feeling it today, and then you would have probably declined the opportunity. You'd be a shift manager at Whataburger today. That's where I was going. Some of you guys may be better than that. Okay, so what if the person didn't take the interview seriously? The interview that was done to you and you would have not liked it? What if they would have not done that little fear of loss? Who felt fear of loss on their interview? What if they would have not done that and you would have picked to work somewhere else where you work for another person's car? Think about that one little moment. This is why you gotta be sharp, man. Stay hungry. Stay grateful. Okay, pay attention to what your promoting owner is talking about. Some people just get promoted and they think that now they're the man or the person, the girl, and that's fine. But it's just so much easier for me to tell hey Chang, can you just Chang's my promoting owner. Hey Chang, can you just tell Cassandra what to do? It's just a lot easier because they respect her a lot more. Ask your promoting owner, hey, pay attention to what is their goal. In Dallas and door to door, our goal is to get Chang to NC. Is that okay? Yeah! Can we say that? So we just gotta promote all of you guys to management so that we can get Chang to NC. Is that okay, Chang? We love her. There you go. Okay. Ask your mentor. So another question to write down. Just ask them, and again, I want you to ask and then be open to receive criticism. I'm still on time. What can I do currently to help the situation? What actions can I take? So just highlight the word actions. Hey, write it down. I see some of you guys not writing it down. Write it down. What actions can I take? Sorry, was that too much, Dan?
No.
What actions can I take to help your situation currently? And then another question you can ask is, hey, do I have current credibility? Current credibility. Not the good rotation that you made a month ago, or the new leader that you hired that you're still hanging on to 6 months ago. Or you got promoted to a mastermind or to level 2 a week ago and you never qualified again. Am I currently having credibility? Cool. And then ask to be critiqued and be open. Agree with something that hurts. You know, you're probably not going to grow. Anybody go to the gym, get sore, and that's kind of like the way you get big like me? Don't follow that. But you got to go through some sort of pain. Would you agree? Anybody like the pain in the gym because you know it's going in the right direction? Same here! Do the same here, okay? Remember, there's a person in the room or multiple people that made $100,000 last month. How many of you guys would solve around 90% of your problems with that? Okay? And the other 10%, you probably made them up. For you guys that have teams you're building teams, remember that the people are watching you, okay? So you have to model you cannot tell people what to do because you become bossy, you become the person you're trying to walk away from. Just model it. Think of yourself like a model of somebody else. How can people copy what I say, what I do? Because that way I don't have to refer to anybody else. You're asking people to do sales? Guess what you got to do? Yes. You know, we were just talking to Carlos Hidalgo here. For you guys if anybody doesn't know him, he has 25 offices, and I put him in front of Danny, who just started. He made like $40,000 in his first month as an owner, and he's excited, right? Would you be excited about that? It was a trick because 20 of that was a bonus that Larry gave him, and the other one, the other 30 is he didn't pay any expenses, but it's exciting. Would you be happy to make $50,000 in the first month? Okay, any owners in here that made that? I didn't make that much my first month, man. I was like, yes, profit. So, listen to this. We're talking to Carlos Hidalgo. He has 25 offices on he's not even a national. He has 25 offices, which is more than, I'd say, 98% of the room. And we're like, hey, Carlos, what advice do you have for a new owner? He's like, I would never stop going into the field. My stupid mistake of not going to the field until I have some sort of passive income. So here's a guy that has 25 offices. I'm gonna guess is making $30,000 or $40,000 a month on overrides. I'm just guessing, lowballing. And he's telling you to go in the field. And then we have some people that are assistant managers, and they're like excited to not be in the field. Dude, go in the field. Like you go in the field for a minute. 3, 4, 5 years, whatever it takes. And by the way, as you grow, you get in the field with people that are grateful, with people that it's fun. You know, how would you like to go in the field with Kinsey? How would you like to go in the field with Raphael? Would it be fun for you? Yeah. I'd go in the field with Dana. Her and I knocking doors. Wasn't it fun? It was super fun. It was a blast. So remember, okay, there's an RC with 25 offices telling you, my biggest mistake is, as an owner, I wasn't in the field. And so many people in the room, we have this problem of, I don't want to be in the field because I want to be seen in the field because it makes me look like less, and we just have a self-image problem here, and you just got to fix that so that you can allow yourself, like Carlos, he recommended 25 offices minimum. I asked him, and he's like, I recommend at least 25 offices. Anybody be happy with $30,000 a month before you start your job at 9 a.m. on Monday? You guys be happy about that? Yeah. Okay. Checking. I like to call check with people. Okay. And I'm gonna leave you guys with this. Okay. So many people. Is anybody excited about like getting on the stage and speaking? Is anybody like that person? I know I was excited. I was excited to just get a job where I could wear a suit every day. Is anybody like that? Oh yeah. Anybody would like to qualify to public speak and be that person that, you know, has enough going on? Okay, so a lot of times, be careful with that because, again, remember, just stay grateful. Stay grateful, man. Happy to be here. Read this book. It's called Speed of Unity. Read it. If you're not reading it, read it. I don't make any money on it. So, recognition and edification. If you never heard this word, study it. Okay? Seeking recognition is going to trick you into looking for the wrong stuff. So I need you guys to think about corporate America and how they have like all the gossip in the break room and all this stuff. Like you just want to always stay away from that. Think about the Sam's Club Employee of the Month award. It's probably the worst award they've ever done. They give an Employee of the Month of March 2020, and they don't give the award until 2022. And all the things happen in the meantime. Just make sure somebody can edify you. If you're walking away from your promoting owner and you do not want to be aligned because you want to do your own thing, we don't recommend that. Because then you're putting yourself in a position where nobody can talk about how good you are. Because when you talk about how good you are, it doesn't make sense. How would you feel if Danny gets up here and says, I made 50 grand? Would you not think he's a dick? Sorry, that was my third cuss word, no more. I apologize. But if I say it, don't we think about Danny like, oh, Danny must be good. What, that's you? Like, oh, that kid, Danny. When somebody says it about you, then it's okay. So all of you guys owners in here, or trying to build a team, or you're more worried about your Instagram logo and your brand before you even have 2 people that want to follow you, it's okay. But what I want you to do is ask somebody else, like, hey, am I edifiable? Like, would you in your office without me being there, would you talk about me? I want to be the office that when Chang's going through maybe a rebuilding point, or she just promoted, she just got to RC. Give it up for Chang that got to RC. Give it up. Hey, this is the first post-COVID regional consultant for door-to-door. This is a really good point. But I want to be the office that if she's going through a little point in her career where maybe she just promoted 10 offices in the last 12 months and you're going to have to rebuild that. I want her to go to her leaders and say, hey, talk to Richard. Hey, you want to be like Richard. I just want to put myself in a position to be built and edified by her. Because if I do it to myself, why not sound like a... It doesn't work. If you self-recognize, it just does not work. Stay grateful, man. You might have qualified to leave your owner's building, or maybe not. Maybe you're partnering up with somebody. Either way, you might have qualified to be on your own payroll. That doesn't mean you don't still seek the mentorship. I was talking to Rafael, has 50 offices, and he tells me he gives me more feedback. The guy doesn't make any money on me on this thing because I'm not on his team. Because we do something else, we do door-to-door, and he's not in that division. He told me the other day he gives me more feedback than some of the people in his office. I'm like, dude, what a bunch of idiots. Sorry if that's you. Don't be offended. Don't be offended. I won't say that tomorrow because probably those are the guys that are coming tomorrow. But I'm like, that's crazy. At first I thought it was like he was taking a shot on me, and then I was like, dude, I'm probably just smarter. That's the guy that makes $100 grand a month. Remember I was telling you earlier? Okay, make sure it's clear. Okay, be a cover and I wrote this down. If you're being edifiable, so I'll give you an analogy. If you're instead of looking for the recognition and looking for the mic and looking for the stage and how can I get around Bill Bishop and how can I make all this money, instead if you look for your mentor, for your uplines recognition, just put yourself in a position that your promoting owner can give you a shout out when they need that. It would be like, the analogy I wrote down, it would be like you going through, running through a forest and having all these trees and all this stuff just hit your face, and you might make it out of the forest, but you're gonna be sweaty and you're gonna be bleeding and you're just gonna be tired, and probably anybody as an owner after your first year, you feel wrecked. Man, I worked so hard. There you go, Max. Thanks for being honest. But when instead you're an owner and you still do this in your building, you still say, hey dude, our only goal is to get Dana to regional. Our only goal in Denver She promoted an office to Denver. It's to get Dana to regional. When you do this stuff, what happens is, it's like you go through the same forest, but like people are just taking these trees away from you. You just get there and it's like, oh, it feels like a sweatless victory. Is anyone in the room that is making more money now working less than when they first started? Because I know some people are. Look at Kinsey. She started how many years ago? 9 years ago. She was probably putting 80, 90 hours a week. Now she has 3 kids? 3 kids? 2 kids. And has to go to all these events and football and soccer and all this stuff. And she has time, but she's not scared about the money. Versus me and you, when we were a rep in the field, we miss a day. But man, that's $80 I don't make, right? That's $100 I didn't make. Yeah. Don't look for the recognition. Just put yourself in a position to be edified, okay? Stay grateful. You guys following this? Yes. Are you guys with me? Yes. Are you guys with me? Yeah. Okay. And I'll finish with this so we can get wrapped up a little earlier. I had the pleasure and the gift. Anybody know Larry Tannenbaum in here? You're on his team, so I recommend finding out. If you don't know Larry Tannenbaum, he does quite well, I would say. And when we first started Door to Door, he was really like working on me, and I was blessed, and he was really just working on me, and he would watch my interviews, and he would give me feedback. And then our office started growing, and our office went after COVID from 2 people in the office we had in April 2020 to now we have 50 or 60 people, and we promoted a few offices, and it's going fantastic. It's never been better. And I look at Larry and I realize I never did anything. Larry just got on all these calls on Sunday and started talking about Richard, to a point that I'm like, Larry, can you kind of stop? Like, we got all these people visiting my office. I don't even know their names. But thanks to Larry's edification, I didn't seek to be a regional. I didn't try to just get a shout out. I didn't do any of that. I was just trying to be in a position to serve Larry so we can lift this water program up. That we went from 1,600 sales a week to last week we broke 4,000. Give it up for the water. Put yourself, be grateful. Put yourself in a position to don't seek the recognition, man. I know you're out there. I know you're that person that's like, I just want to public speak. I just want to do this and I just want to do that. And that's the quickest way to not get there. Dude, and I know because I was there. I was the guy trying to I want to be the speaker. I want to be this. I want to pick up the trophy. I want my picture on there. And that will be dude, I want you to get up here. I want you to be the one holding the mic and be the one impacting people and be the one that gets the stage time. We want you to be up here. We don't want to do it forever. But the quickest way to not get there is if you try to find it. It's kind of like when you just try to sell stuff in the field, like the customer just sees in your face this hungry commission breath. Anybody get a customer say no thank you before you open your mouth? It happens the same way. Stay grateful, okay? Did you guys write down those 2 questions I want you to ask your mentor? And I want you to be open. I want you to get this done today. I'm going to follow up with some of you guys that you know and be like, hey, did you ask this question? What's the criticism? Are you open to taking some advice? Was that cool? All right. Thank you, guys.